And here we go, we've got our first crew of the day coming in on approach, but welcome back to the greatest show on earth, and that is the Miami Boat Ramps channel. I'm your host, Broncos Guru, and today we are down here visiting Boynton Beach. So Cap's making that slow roll turn in. He moves all the way down to one of the last docks down here at the end. He's got Wifey in the bow on the ready, and let's see how Captain does as he comes in on this approach. So he's trying to back it up and actually angle it at the correct angle where he can just get a straight shot in, which is typically one of the better things you can do. If I can come in at a straight angle, not having to turn much at all, my chances of success are significantly higher than when I see somebody who's doing a lot of turning last second at the dock. So he's trying to line it up with the wind and current, so the wind and current can hopefully assist him in this one. And Wifey stands up in the bow, ready to roll. So he's slowly drifting away from the dock now, and he's going to grab a line also and get it set up. And is she going to go for it? Is she going to go for the leap off? And she goes for the step. That was a little closer than it looks, as she kind of started to roll backwards for a second, and he's able to hand her the second line. But here we can see that stern's still kicking out, and he's going to come over here and give her a hand. So with the two lines on the dock, though, they should be able to get this one pulled over fairly easily and line back up with the dock. And here we go with our second crew of the day coming in right behind them. And let's see how this crew winds up handling it as well. So Cap's heading toward it, but we already seen the wind and current are being a little funky today, as it's kind of blowing into the dock. Not like left to right across the screen, but almost straight back toward the ramp. And as you can see right here, because it's catching them, so they're trying to get in, but that wind and current's pushing at their stern straight, and it's making the boat kind of twist out on them as they're going for the grab on the dock. So we get a little stretch action here as they're trying to save it and get it pulled over. Cap has to leave, go up and grab it as well, as Wifey gets off onto the dock. And there we go, starting to bring it over. No, nothing crazy yet, but the day is still early down here at Boynton. We're hoping that will change. So here's our guy who asked us about this. He's on the right-hand side, pulling up on the trailer, and almost immediately after that, we see this guy here come in, and he's trying to hit the trailer as his buddy's backing in. Which I've seen this technique before, but there's no reason to rush today. It's not crazy busy down here. You might as well just let them back in and then try and hit it right and line it up versus trying to rush and getting a little sideways as we see here. So I never really recommend sitting on the gunnel, kind of like this crew's doing, as that leg is now in between the boat and the dock. And quickly she moves, which is a good decision. I definitely recommend that, especially considering we're coming in on this side as well. So they go for the light push off, but there we go. He winds up running the boat right up against the dock, right where her leg would have been if she was still sitting there. And that's why you don't do that. It's definitely never a good idea to put yourself in between the boat and the dock. You're never going to win that battle. And our next crew comes in on approach. Cap got a lot of wheel spin going on, especially for a twin engine boat. On this one, you definitely just want to keep those engines straight, use the throttle, but you can see again that wind and the flag in the background kind of going a little bit of everywhere, and our currents is giving us a funky pull today. So they come in on approach with that one. And the same thing we've seen happen on just about every docking attempt today, that stern starts to kick out as they come in on the dock. So our guy goes ahead and he's able to get the line out, but all of a sudden we're in a little bit of a mess here as they're trying to get it back over. Really just need to get a stern line or a mid-cleat line out there and try and walk it over, but here we go, slowly working its way back as everybody goes for the stretch at the end to try and get it pulled over. So our next crew coming in, and are we gonna see the same thing we've seen 3 or 4 times in a row now? So getting a stern line ready, she looks like she's gonna even try and come off the stern, which could help negate the situation we've seen, but nope, too late. Cap leaves the helm and jumps off the bow. But why? So I guess he's at least got a line in his hand, but again, the same thing we've been seeing all day long is now that stern's gonna fight, and they're gonna have to get that stern line over to try and get this one brought back around. So don't want to stand up too much here in these boats. Right like that, because what happens is if you get brake checked, you're going over the bow, and our guy fortunately caught himself, goes for the leap off. We've got the lady with the boat hook up at the front, plenty of fenders. Somebody wasn't playing when they went fender shopping and bought a ton of them, and they've got them lined right down this boat. Now, I'm not going to knock that, actually. That's one way to protect your investment. So they're still trying to get it all pieced together here as he goes back for the grab on the windshield to try and pull it over. And we've got our young lady in the bow. She's hopped out now too as well. And gonna try and walk it up, but the pole's in the way, so she's got to get around the pole first. It is interesting placement down here, how they did these concrete poles, as we see people battle with them all the time, and we see boats hit them all the time, especially this end pole. All they had to do was the same thing with the other 2 poles. This end pole shouldn't have been outside the dock. It probably should have been inside the dock, and we wouldn't see people bounce off this metal rail that's around that outside pole. I'm not sure exactly why they chose to go that path with it when they were designing these docks down here. So our crew's coming in, they're trying to go around another boat, and they wind up hitting the trailer. So they hit the trailer right there, and they're just gonna bounce back off of it. And again, this sun's a killer down here at Boynton for us. At the end of the day, even with the UV filter on the camera, it just absolutely blows everything out, which makes it tough to see the struggle this crew is actually having, as they wound up hitting the trailer sideways as they were coming in. But now they're gonna have to try and get this thing around, as we got some people getting off the ski, and they're gonna try and walk it around and try and get out of here. And speaking of getting out of here, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here as well. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, does some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we got Boats vs. Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.